Thank you for recording, Marg. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Unity Kitchener this morning. Thank you for being here, for spending some time with us. We hope you have an hour of enjoyment and spiritual fulfillment. If you have your favorite beverage with you, coffee, tea, water, or anything else that you choose, that's okay too. And we're delighted to have you here. If you can keep yourself on mute, that would be awesome. It helps with our bandwidth, it helps with our recording, and it keeps a minimum amount of any background noise turning up, which is awesome. We know that here at Unity Kitchener, we are situated on the Haldeman Tract, the land that was promised to the Haudenosaunee of the Six Nations of the Grand River, and within the territory of the neutral Anishinaabe and Haudenosaunee peoples, Miigwech. My name is Marilyn Smith. It's my pleasure to be here with you this morning. We have a wonderful group of people that put together a Sunday service, and that's our Sunday service facilitation group, as well as our partners in prayer and several other people that come together to make this all happen on a Sunday morning. Trish is our music leader, and she's put our music in, and we're delighted to have everybody here. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Sit back and enjoy yourself, and we will get started. We're going to welcome our speaker today is Reverend Kelly Isola, and we're delighted to have her here with us. She's here from just outside of Kansas City, so she is not far from Unity Village, which we're delighted about. Kelly's an innovation alchemist. She's a genius with words and a brilliant thinker and a professional evacuator of the soul, excavator of the soul, not evacuator, excavator of the soul. And she says she's a silliness guru and needed, which we all like quite a bit because we're quite into laughter here, Kelly. So we welcome you, and we'll share a little bit more about you before your talk. We're thrilled that you're with us. Time for a little joy singing. So let's be on mute, sing out loud. And that's why I'm here.
That's why I'm here to love you. You love me. That's why you're here to love me. Love is our purpose. Love is the reason to be. So I love you and you love me. I teach you. That's why I'm here to teach you. You teach me. That's why you're here to teach me. Teaching's our purpose. Teaching's the reason to be. So I teach you and you teach me. I heal you. That's why I'm here to heal you. You heal me. That's why you're here to heal me. Healing's our purpose. Healing's the reason to be. So I heal you and you heal me. I love you. That's why I'm here to love you. You love me. That's why you're here to love me. Loving's our purpose. Loving's the reason to be. So I love you and you love me. Yes, I love you and you love me.
Wonderful song to start with. Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone to Unity Kitchener this morning. My name is Marilyn Smith, and it's my pleasure to be on the platform today, assisting Reverend Kelly and when she gets to her talk. We know that the Unity theme worldwide is how to stay centered, no matter what. And we know in this past year of challenges, we've met challenges and done many different things to be together. And this is certainly one of those reflections by being here together in this quote unquote room and able to see each other, which is just wonderful. The February theme for unity is strength, and we're studying the 12 powers this year. So the power of strength is February's power. I express the strength and the vitality of God. Let's sing a welcome song, Be You, Be Love. As I just mentioned, the power for February is strength. And strength is defined by the spring green, light green color. And you'll notice that we changed the slides for this month to have a spring green color in the background. Strength is a quality that we can and must develop.
We will not accept a long-term proposition.
Strength is the part of the disciple Andrew, and Andrew defines strength of mind. Strength is the ability to endure, to stay the course, and to persevere. Strength is located in the small of the back, one of our core spaces, allowing us to have movement, to move up and down, to walk. And it is a core space that we must always be developing and have the strength in our body, both physically and metaphysically. Please take a moment to affirm with me. The affirmation is, I have the strength to accomplish all that is mine to do. Now I can welcome Wendy Rigby, Unity member, with a prayer that she has both written and will present.
Thank you, Marilyn. Good morning, everyone. You can relax and be comfortable where you are. If you choose to, close your eyes. Let's take a couple of deep breaths. Breathe in peace. Exhale love. Inhale love. Exhale peace. As we embrace the light that surrounds us, the light that's within us, may we be brave enough to bear witness to our shadow selves, where thoughts exile another. May we recognize it is only in healing ourselves that opportunity will arise to offer love, kindness, and compassion to another. Love your neighbor as yourself. As we view the keeper, breaker, and mender societies, may we continue to do the work of love so that light will illuminate enough that shadows fade in its presence, as we live in hope of creating a world that works for all. We give thanks for this present moment, and so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Wendy. We at Unity Kitchener wish to honor Black History Month this year, which is in February of each year, evolving consciousness through diversity. And it struck me that one of the interesting things that happened in the last few years is that Viola Desmond, who was a Black woman from Nova Scotia, became part of our currency. She was the first woman to be put on a currency bill, which is the $10 bill, which was in 2018. She lived from 1914 to 1965. She built a very successful Canadian business. She supported Black women in both her beauty school as a beautician and also selling products so people could be successful in their businesses, and she supported them very, very well. While she was traveling at one point, she got stuck, if you will, in New Glasgow, Nova Scotia, and thought she would go to the movies. And this was way back in the 50s. And as she went in, she went to pay for her ticket and said that she would be happy to pay extra to sit on a regular floor, not the balcony. And that was refused to her. No reason why, just refused. And she realized it was part of a racial discrimination act. Even though it wasn't said that way, it was taken that way. When she demanded to sit on the floor as she had paid for her ticket, she was actually arrested. And this came to then a long, long court battle. She stayed with it. She had people that supported her. And eventually, discrimination and segregation ended in Nova Scotia in 1954. Unfortunately, of course, Viola died in 1965, so she didn't get to see the end of this process. But eventually, she was pardoned by the Supreme Court in 2010. And then a chair of social justice was established at Cape Breton University for her in 2010 as well. So the whole idea of having it come full circle and have it not be something that people had to deal with at any time anymore, and recognizing that by having Viola on our $10 bill. We know at Unity, we have 5 basic principles. Spirit is good. People are good. Thoughts create experiences. Affirmative prayer is our connection, and action to the prayer is always needed. We know that spirit is good and present everywhere at all times, and we know that everybody has a spark of divinity within them. We know that our thought create experiences, so having our thoughts, as Mike Dooley says of Tut, totally unique thoughts. Thoughts are things, so always think the good ones, and that's part of our human experience. Unity believes in affirmative prayer and affirmative action, and believes in meditation. We co-create and bring out the good in our life. Action is always needed. We know that that knowledge is not enough, but we need to move with that action. And sometimes the action is sitting back and listening for the still small voice to continue on and guide us. Unity honors the universal truth in all religions and respects each person where they are on their spiritual path. We know that Unity's teachings are ever evolving, and just a quick note, you'll see in our announcements today that Wendy Carr has a Unity Basics class that's been running for the last few weeks. The last one is this week, and it's basically, she's calling it Unity Basics, a whole enchilada at one point. So if you're interested in more about Unity teachings, this is just a few things on the slide, and we can dig into this much, much deeper. Unity was started in 1889 by Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, after they attended a lecture and found that a new thought movement would move forward to be called practical Christianity. Unity is diverse and inclusive and welcoming, and we want Unity to always be a safe space for each and every person that enters. Spirit is known by many names. You can call God, Source, Universe, the Divine, whatever resonates with your soul best is what we wish you to be able to call Spirit. We know that affirmative prayer focuses on the best and perfect outcome. We don't always see the outcome. We don't always know what the outcome is, but we know that any bumps along the road are often just lessons to learn towards that best outcome. And we are certainly here to make the world a better place for each and every person and being. Unity Worldwide says they live with the mission, we see a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. And we at Unity Kitchener took that on as our vision as well. And some of the things that we try to do, reaching out to things like spirit groups, inviting other people to meetings, and making sure that everything about Unity is sort of out there and useful to sharing other ideas. And also our gatherings with Ottawa twice a month are part of that growing shared spiritual awakening. At Unity Kitchener, we see ourselves as a positive path for spiritual living, and our purpose is to transform consciousness and empower lives. I'll ask Diane Weston to read the daily word today. Diane, are you with us today?
Yes, sorry,
Okay,
I wasn't.
No, I just only have a few people on my screen because of the slides, so I just wanted to make sure I hadn't missed you, that's all.
You. Mine to do. Please say it with me. I do what is mine to do and release the rest. Over the years, I have accepted more and more responsibility as I have grown in maturity and experience. I have also grown in my conscious and more skillful use of divine wisdom and understanding, so I'm able to discern what is mine to do. I have learned what to take on and what to leave for others. I have also learned not to exhaust myself by taking on too many commitments. Importantly, I know when to use my powers of dominion and strength to make things happen and when to let them go. I recall times in my life when I felt frustrated that events did not unfold the way I had expected. Even so, sometimes they unfolded in ways better than I could have imagined. And please affirm with me, I do what is mine to do and release the rest.
Thank you, Diane.
Welcome.
Now please join with me in this blessing for Unity Kitchener. Always open to deeper spiritual understanding, Unity Kitchener thrives as we journey through life, recognizing any challenges that come our way are both opportunities and blessings. We handle our affairs and decisions with good judgment and positive, bold conviction. We affirm we are divinely guided to right action, innovative solutions, and sacred synchronicity. Aligned with spirit, we are prospered and whole as a community and as individuals. With love and gratitude, we say, thank you, thank you, thank you. Here's a song recorded by Trish and Harvey, Get Together.
Love is but a song we sing, and feels the way we die.
Thank you, Trish and Harvey. That was wonderful. It is a pleasure for me to welcome Reverend Kelly Isola with a talk today called Love Me Harder. Reverend Kelly is passionate about supporting people and organizations to live and love more authentically by sharing her passion for living the twofold path of an engaged spiritual life, embracing the inner path of wisdom, as well as demonstrating the outer path of compassionate service. Kelly is the chair of the Greater Kansas City Interfaith Council and the Missouri Interfaith Disaster Response Organization. She is passionate about interfaith and interspiritual work as an avenue for individual and collective healing and peace. Kelly loves sharing her wisdom in the classroom through her own classes and as a faculty for 2 seminaries. Kelly is an avid blogger on her own site, guest blogs for Progressive Christianity. She has written numerous articles for Unity Magazine, various booklets, and a number of online magazines. She is also the co-author of the best-selling book, Who Have You Come Here to Be? The 101 Possibilities for Contemplation. Kelly, I'm going to put the screen down and let you come on, and we welcome you and give you a big Unity welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thanks. I'm listening to you talk about this Kelly person. She sounds fabulous. I'll tell you what, if you ever want to do a little internal work, write a bio and have someone read it. And you're like, oh, you find all the little, someone mentioned shadow early on in the service. You want to see where your shadow is? Do that. You want to learn how to love yourself a little bit more, warts and all, do that. Write up a bio and have someone read it like that so you can go, I'm fabulous. Except last Tuesday when I was in this meeting and I just, right. Good morning. Thanks for having me. I want to let you know that I was very, very excited when you opened to acknowledge the land that you're on, where, you know, the church is. I say that when I start something. I currently make my home as a settler in Missouri in Lee Summit, which is next to Unity Village and is outside Kansas City, all of which is situated on land that was formerly the home of the indigenous Osage and Missouri nations. So I always want to acknowledge whose land I'm, you know, the land that I'm on, that I come to it as a white settler. The talk title is Love Me Harder. Really, the extended version is When I'm Hard to Love, Love Me Harder. Because that's really the challenge. When I'm hard to love, love me harder. Oh, the other thing I want you to know is that you are free to put little notes in the chat box. I watch those. If you have a question, if you have a comment, if you want to just, you know, or even in your little box, you know, yay, or thumbs up, or frowny face, whatever. I watch it all. I navigate it all. It's how I love to engage. If we're not doing this to be relational and to engage with each other, I'm not sure why we're doing it. So please, if you want to put something in, or if I ask a question, oftentimes I ask a question that's not a rhetorical question. I'm actually looking for a response. So please, if you have access to the chat and you're comfortable, please use it. So when I say, when I'm hard to love, love me harder, that's actually more work than just love me harder. But I wanted to just keep it kind of short. Anyone have anyone in their life that's hard to love? That's one of those not rhetorical questions. So you can like raise your hand or put a little yes in the chat. Yeah, see, I'm not alone. There's a few, I saw a few thumbs up. Yeah, you can always use a thumbs up. If you don't have someone in your life that's hard to love, I can lend you one of mine because I have a few. You know what's actually even harder is to like someone. To like someone. We have a lot of fluffy language in Unity about love, and it's we're all interconnected and oneness and loving, and we can go overboard into what I lovingly refer to as bliss ninny land, right? And we actually, when we move into that and get so into our head and into, and not that it's not true, it's all very true. We are connected. You know, love is a universal principle. But when we get too far into the theory, into the headiness of it, we actually lose the humanity of it. And we realize that maybe, sure, I can do the love thing, but can I like them? right? Can I like them? Because to like someone is to be in the real world here, right? And to be, just be around humanity, to just, for all someone's annoying things about them, can I still like them? Is there still a reason to be around them? Is there still a reason to be engaged? Is there still, is there still something there kind of holding us together? I think, I call it, it's another talk, but it's called No More Sloppy Agape. So sloppy agape is, I'll say that I love you, but then I don't really like you much, or I don't make an effort, which doesn't mean, I'm not suggesting we have to have these challenging people over for dinner every Sunday. But I do need to take a look at how do I distance myself, right? You guys mentioned, I love this too. You said at the beginning, you talked about the keepers, breakers, and menders. How hard is it to like a breaker, right? I want to just go erg. Like you need to get out of the way, you need to evolve, you need to transform because you're just too annoying, right? And sometimes keepers can be a little bit, okay, you're a little bit stuck. I need you to just move forward. Here's the pieces, parts that we love, right? That we need to include in mender territory and, just loosen up a little bit. So people are just, they're hard to love. I'm hard to love. I know this about me. And it's okay. I know this about me. Yeah, fixers, like Lou wrote, fixers, oi. Yes, yes. So because everybody's hard to love, everybody's hard to like. And what we have a tendency to do is when it gets really hard, we just step away, right? And what my call is that when I'm hard to love, it's when you need to actually step more into me and love me even harder. Love me harder. Charles Fillmore, co-founder of Unity, says in Talks on Truth, I love this quote. He says, love is the cementing element of all things. Love is the cementing element of all things. You could not have an organism without the help of the cementing power of love. Love is the magnet. You must love. You cannot live without it. I love how he calls it a cementing element. That really, which is kind of ironic because it's one of our, for many people in Unity, one of the things they're most proud of is that there's no specific dogma or creed or, nothing fixed. And yet, Charles Fillmore says that love is a cementing element. He says in other places that it's, it's a great harmonizer. It's a magnet. Not untrue, but I really love, yes, absolutely, Todd. The things in between, the bricks that keep the cement, So just hold on to that, the cementing element, that you can't live without it. You must have love. The other thing that I really like about this idea of a cementing element is that, and don't ask how I connected the dots, because when I go in my own learning phases, I wander, and I'm very grateful for squirrel moments because I think I'm going to learn about one thing and then I wind up somewhere totally unrelated. I'm going to go learn about neuroscience and I wind up on the online picking up a Jello recipe for grape Kool-Aid, So, and I don't know how I got from one to the other, but that's how I do it. And I really like it. That's the silliness factor, right? The silliness guru. But so love is a cementing element that you have to have it. Life is not possible without it, right? It's that a foundational piece because it's kind of what holds things together. So the other thing so what that reminds me of is in the world of science is if you're familiar with a boson, and some of you probably are who are much smarter than I am in the world of physics and quantum mechanics, but a boson is this minuscule, tiny little quantum field particle. It's a fundamental particle, and what it carries with it, and there's different kinds of bosons, but it carries with it a force that interacts, right? It carries with it a force that connects and is related to all the other little fundamental particles. But the best thing about a boson is you can't you can't have too many in the quantum field. So you can't have too many of these fundamental particles in this quantum field, in this field in which we're playing. I think that's a great definition for love, or part of the definition. You can't have too much. There's no such thing. It's all there. So, but what I know about love is that it's something that we have to learn. And when I say love, I'm not talking about a feeling. Love is a practice. Love is the understanding of a principle that we put into practice. So I'm not talking about a feeling. The feelings that we have when we experience love are feelings of connectedness, of feelings of being cared for, generosity and benevolence, and there is the romantic kind of love, which I'm not even going to go there because this is supposed to be a short Sunday talk, and I'm really not much of an expert on romantic love. I could tell you what not to do. I could tell you how not to be a boson. But love, the principle of love, is something that we have to learn. It's something that we make progress with. It's a skill. It requires generosity. It requires imagination. It requires a million things. It is a rocky and bumpy road at best. And it asks us to be more generous than we think we can. It asks us, the principle of love demands that we be more generous towards those that are flawed than we cognitively think we have the capacity to do. And the better chance we have to do that is to understand. So the better chance we have to actually be more generous is when we realize that love is this benevolent process, that love is this principle, and we put it into practice to be a process where two people are teaching each other how to be the best versions of themselves. That's how love occurs for me. That's how I practice it. So I kind of have to work at remembering that when one of these annoying people in my life is really what it's a call for is to remind us that we're working at helping each other, teaching each other, right? Because it's not just the help or the support. We're actually teaching. How do I do that? Think about it this way. If you have children, or you've been around small children or maybe grandchildren, you may have experienced a time or two, when they start to learn how to talk and they say words that you don't really, oh gosh, where did you hear that word? Right? And they start to say things that you're like, where did that come from? And of course, I think most kids at one point say to some adult, I hate you, right? They're just, whatever is going on, and they, or something like that, or they tell you you're stupid, or get away from something like that. And probably the more annoying you are as an adult, the more likely you'll hear, I hate you, you're not my mother. I can remember, I think most kids push back that they know there must have a different mother or father somewhere. But when we hear that, right, when you hear, I hate you, or go away, you're not my mother, or something like that, we, for the most part, as an adult, we kind of go, okay, I know that's probably not true. The likelihood of that is pretty slim. What we do is we shift into, okay, they're probably tired. It's time they, need a nap. Maybe they're hungry, or they had a hard, something happened at school that was distressing, or playing with one of their friends, depending on how old they are. But what we do, we know that something's gone wrong, right? And so we look around for some, an interpretation that comes from a place of goodness, right? A benevolent interpretation. So we can kind of shave off and, and smooth off some of the harsher aspects of their behavior and their words. And we do that naturally with most children. That when, an action or words are really, not loving, and maybe sound a little challenging and harsh and hurtful, we have a tendency to just go, okay, something's going on. We look beyond the facade, right? We sort of pull the curtain back in our minds and go, okay, they didn't have a good day. So what's going on? And that's what we do with kids mostly, but we seldom do it with adults, right? We seldom do it with adults. More often what I see is they say something, and we take it on personally, right? Something is said, the person is challenging, and You know, you ever been in a conflict or disagreement with someone and you kind of take on the posture that if I talk faster and louder and say whatever I need to say over and over, you're more likely to hear it? And some reason that just doesn't work, right? If I talk faster and louder and repeat, and then it just sort of escalates, and I, don't have a sense of being heard, and the other person is probably thinking, "Why are you yelling at me?" And all of a sudden, we're bumping heads. So the work of love is to go behind that front, behind that facade, behind the challenging behavior, and to kind of wonder, where's that coming from? That's the work of, so when I say, when I'm hard to love, love me harder, that's what I'm asking you to do. And it requires us to put our own stuff to the side, right? It requires us to tap into that cementing principle. It requires us to remember that like the bosons, there's never ending, within this field that we're playing, right? So when someone's behavior is challenging, and even with kids, we're willing to go beyond we can do it with adults. Just think of the child going beyond the curtain, beyond the facade, right? To try to ask where it's coming from. And sometimes it's like all those things I said. And the thing that sometimes why we don't go beyond the facade is if we think we might have an inkling that could be a catalyst. We're just giant feedback magnets. We're just giant feedback loops, right? How people behave around us in part is a response to us. So when I'm hard to love, love me harder. It means step towards me. Be willing to pause, like, put our own stuff to the side and step behind the curtain, like to find out what is going on with me. I mean, if we really believe, you said at the beginning about we have this spark of divinity. We don't have a spark. We are divine. We're not a spark. A spark is a little thing, right? We're the whole fire. We're not the ember, we're the whole fire. We are divine. That means that if there's one presence and one power, principle number one, principle number two, you're it. All, you are it. And you are divine. And so in our humanness, we use that principle to demonstrate it. So here's two things you can remember. When someone around you is challenging, when you're finding it really hard to even like them, never mind step into that cementing principle, invite them into your boson field. Two things. When someone is challenging, when they're saying things that you're feeling hurt, you're annoyed, you're confused, you're stunned, or you may not even be triggered at all. You could just be able to sometimes shift into, wow, what's up with them? That's going behind the facade. That's being willing to love the person harder, is to go beyond the facade, right? When someone is pushing us away, what they really want is us to come closer. So they're telling us two things when they're kind of pushing is one, they're saying, I can't love you right now, right? They're saying, I can't love you right now. Doesn't mean I don't love you, but I'm not in a place, I don't have the capacity, I don't have my head, my heart, I'm stuck in my quagmire of mud of, can't see clearly. So the first thing is, I can't love you right now. The second thing they're saying is, somebody please love me. It's a very strange language that we have. So when people are, and these are people that it applies to anybody, but it's a little easier to hold when it's someone that's already in our sort of solar system, people that we already know, friends and loved ones. Like start out with those people that we already know, that when you can tell there's something going on and you're starting to rub up against them, whether it's just a little bit or it's a whole lot, just to remember that the person is saying, I can't love you in this moment, and please love me. And if we can do that, if I can actually pause and go, oh, right. then we're on the road to knowing a little bit about what love really is, I think. If we can pause and just remember that they can't love me in the moment, could be for 3 seconds, 30 seconds, 3 minutes, 30 minutes, I don't know. But even more importantly, because then you stop, if you can remember that, stop expecting something from them that they're not able to give you in that moment. And instead step into, oh, they are asking me to love them harder. Got it. And when we can step into that, then we're back to teaching each other. Love is that process of teaching each other how to be our most noble selves. And if I step into that, and remember that they're saying, somebody please love me, now I can show up in a way that's needed, in a way that they can't articulate perhaps. And the same is true the opposite, the other way around. When I know there's a reverend in front of my name, but it might shock you to know that there's times that I'm pretty tough to love. In fact, a lot of ministers I know are. That's because we work ourselves to death, so we get cranky. But I have to know when I can tell when I'm hard to love, right? I feel afraid. I have a sense of inadequacy. I have a sense that I don't really belong. Are they gonna, especially when they're just this unsteady ground, right? So when I know that about myself, then I have a little practice of my own. And I use the analogy of cleaning a kitchen. So, if I look at my kitchen, it's dirty, I know that I can look around, I can see where the dirt is. There's dirty dishes, that counter needs to be wiped off, the floor needs to be mopped. Just look around, I can see what's in the kitchen may need to be cleaned up. And if it's not the kitchen, pick a different room. But the process of cleaning the kitchen is I have to identify what needs to be removed. The same is true in consciousness. I have to sort of poke around in my dirty kitchen. When I point to my head, it's not brain, I'm pointing to consciousness. And identify what's in the way, right? What needs to be removed. So the first thing I need to do is acknowledge the thing that keeps me from loving harder, the thing that stands in the way of you loving me harder. It doesn't matter, me to them, them to me. It's the same thing. And then, most importantly, just pause, take a deep breath, and give yourself a huge dose of grace. Just give yourself some grace. Cut yourself some slack. Accept yourself as you are. The good, the bad, the ugly. The good, the bad, the ugly. All of it. It's one of the worst things I see in New Thought circles is when we beat each other up with these principles that, if I think less of me, or I'm inadequate, or I think the other person is so annoying, or, they're, whatever my thinking is that's less than angelic or less than liking or loving, that I'm doing something wrong. I'm not doing anything wrong. Just give yourself a large dose of grace and recognize I have a little cleaning up to do. So what is the thing? So once I give myself some grace and I can sort of let go a little bit and accept us, me, as we are, then I can take the next step and remember to give no importance or power to the feelings and the thoughts, because it's not just change your thoughts, change your world. It's thoughts and feelings. Sometimes feelings come before thoughts. So it's both. And give no importance or power to them. Just recognize them, that they're there. To avoid them is that's like psychological denial. It's already here. I'm already thinking thoughts I'd rather not. I'm already feeling uncomfortable and hurt and, inadequate and unworthy or afraid or irritated. So the feeling's already here. So just own it and recognize that, oh, this is my kitchen. Right, get out my little mop and my sponge and give myself some grace, and then start the cleanup, which is I recognize that thought. And then just what's another one? A different thought is that I give no power or importance to the thought that I'm not worthwhile. And I come back to, I am divine. I mean, just that one statement, I am divine. Not a spark, I'm not a raisin in a bun. I am divine. I am glorious. I am fabulous. This world would not be the same without me, even in my ickiest moments. Like I'm a whole package and I'm okay, just the way I am. So when I'm hard to love, love me harder. Remember the boson, that fundamental particle, carries the force, and you can't have too many of them in the field. So can we do that? Can I be that? Can I be that for myself, for another? When I'm hard to love, love me harder. In my cleanup kitchen analogy, I often have to find a place that I like, right? Before I even move into love. And sometimes it's the other way around. I can understand the love, the cementing principle, these bosons, like there's no limit to how much is in this field. But what do I like? Try that one on. What do I like about this other person, or even a group of people? Or what do I like about me? So when I give myself a large dose of grace, right, as I look at the thoughts and feelings I'm holding that are not serving, that are keeping me separate, that are making me hard to love, that I'm, getting in the way of you loving me harder and me loving you, find something that I like as I give no power or importance to those thoughts and feelings. Find something I like. I like that I can be silly, right? I like that I can make fun of me. I like and lighten myself up. Because I don't know about you, but I've had a year of I'm done with serious. If I have to solo distance anymore, I'm going to have to put a hot poker in my eye and swirl it around. I don't know if I can love me hard enough any longer, but I will, and everyone else too. So let's take a deep breath. Inhale and a big exhale. I want to take the idea of when I'm hard to love, love me harder, into our meditation. Take another deep breath, inhale, and a big exhale. And remember that love is that cementing principle, that it's necessary, that there can be no life without it. And so just remember that piece, because it's always there, that principle. We cannot have life without the help of that cementing power of love. So if you're comfortable, you can close your outer eyes. If you don't have a sense of safety with that, just lower your gaze and look about, a foot to maybe 18 inches in front of you. Remember that with every breath in, you're standing on that cementing element of love. That magnet that Charles Fillmore also calls love, the principle of love, a magnet. That magnet is you. You are the manifestation of that magnet. Another deep breath in, and remember and bring to mind or hear the words for yourself that there is a place that you can turn for rest and release. There is a place within that you can turn from fear to care. It's a holy place. It's a place of stillness. It's a place that is your fundamental nature, the place that reminds us we are each divine. We are each an unrepeatable configuration of divine ideas that emanate from the one divine idea, the one presence, the one power. So, in that place of care, in that place of stillness, know that part of that is also the mind of the child that is pure and true and lovely and open. That with every dose of grace, we return our focus to that which is good and just and merciful. With every dose of grace, we return to what it is we like, what we like about ourselves. Take a moment, ask your heart, what is it that I like about me? What is it that I like about me? And tuck that away so that the next time you find yourself in a challenging situation, when you find yourself with someone that you think is kind of hard to love, pull that forward. This is what I like about me. I harness that and I love this person harder. Take another deep breath. Feel the presence of life moving through you. That is the breath. That is love. That is power. That is strength. For it is the power of strength that engages that power of love in order to love someone harder. So have these words be yours as we move into just a minute of quiet. I am dear to me. I hold myself in my heart. I am dear to me. I hold myself in my heart. You are dear to me. I hold you in my heart. You are dear to me. I hold you in my heart. In the quiet, in the quiet. I am dear to me. I hold me in my heart. You are dear to me. I hold you in my heart. For love transforms, it transfigures, it fills us with harmony. It fills our lips with words of praise and cheer. It fills life to overflowing with happiness and peace. So that when I am hard to love, you will love me harder. And when you are hard to love, I will love you harder. And so it is, and so it is. Amen.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Reverend Kelly. That was absolutely lovely. I have a thousand thoughts just running through my brain right now. So I first of all want to say that the words love and like can sometimes be four-letter words in our life. And I think you've given us some wonderful lessons to take to ourselves and to certainly to give to others, which is awesome. And I so appreciate the levels that you teach on. You bring humor, you bring kindness and gentleness, and you bring science. And I think that covers the gamut for any way anybody has to learn. So thank you, thank you, thank you so much. We are so grateful to have you here. We hope you'll come back to Unity Kitchener very, very soon. We so enjoy having you. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's sing together to end our lesson today.
I love myself the way I am. There's nothing I need to change. I'll always be the perfect me. There's nothing to rearrange. I'm beautiful and capable of being the best me I can. And I love myself just the way I am. I love you the way you are. There's nothing you need to do. When I feel love inside myself, it's easy to love you. Behind your fears, your rage, your tears, I see a shining star. And I love you just the way you are. I love the world the way it is, 'cause I can plainly see that all the things I judge are done by people just like me. So till the birth of peace on earth that only love can bring, I'll help it grow by loving everything. I love myself the way I am, and still I want to grow. But change outside can only come when deep inside I know I'm beautiful and capable of being the best me I can. And I love myself just the way I am. I love myself just the way I am. Yes, I love myself just the way I am.
Take that song into your week this week, and we'll certainly think of Kelly's words coming back to us again and again from such a great service. Thank you so much for that. And I hope you'll stick around for a few minutes afterwards, Kelly, and we'll have some more, a little more chatter, any takeaways, comments. As Reverend Kelly so kindly said, she monitors the chat. So if you have a question you want to put up there, feel free to do that. And we'll come back together at the end of service and be able to have a little chance to talk with you. Thank you again so much. We so appreciate everyone that joyously gives to Unity Kitchener. Time and talent and treasures. We are blessed with so many people that bring a service together, do classes, and choose to tithe or donate to Unity Kitchener with their love offerings. So please know there's several ways to do that. E-transfer is sometimes easiest to unitykitchener@gmail.com. If you'd like to go onto the website, there will be a Tithely button. It'll say donate, and you can use a credit or debit card at www.unitykitchener.com. And that can be a one-time or can be an ongoing conscious giving donation as you choose. It can change at any point. So if you want it weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly, or want to change the amount, you can do that at any time. Our office at 2631 Kingsway is still available to receive checks by mail, or they can be dropped off. And Cheryl, our ministry coordinator, does go in occasionally. She does more working from home, but they can be dropped off at that address at any time. Thank you so much. As we think about our abundance, know that we are all completely abundant, and take whatever offering you're giving in your hands virtually and metaphysically, and please say with me, divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I joyously give, and all that I joyously receive. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Amen. And we know that all things are given, come back tenfold. We also know that unity was always built on affirmative prayer, affirmative action, affirmative meditation, and denials in being what does not serve us, we choose to release. Silent Unity is always available to you 24/7. You can call 1-800-NOW-PRAY. You can visit silentunity.org online. There's also an app for your phone if you'd like to put it on, or I guess any of your devices, You Pray, and the You Pray app is available from the Google or the Apple Store. So please feel free to put that onto your device. We at Unity Kitchener have a Partners in Prayer team. They are always available for affirmative prayer. If you'd like to arrange a time with anybody, one-on-one, fully confidential, just email unitykitchener@gmail.com. And if there's anybody you'd like silent prayer for, if you'd like to enter a first name into the chat on Zoom today, we'll make sure that we note those names. The Partners in Prayer will hold those names. And as we know, that Spirit always knows who it is and why they need prayer. A couple of announcements to wrap up today. Next week, our friend Wendy Carr, Unity LUT, will be with us, and service at 10:30, Building Our Spiritual Home with Strength. And that's the power we've been studying this particular month. Wendy Carr, also busy woman, she is also holding several Introduction to Unity 5 Basics. 3 weeks have gone by now, so this is the very last week. You do not have to have attended the weeks prior to go to the last one. It's called the Unity Community. It's Tuesday evening. The times are at the top there, depending on the time zone that you're in. This does require some pre-registration, though. Wendy would like to know who is coming, and just to be prepared for the amount of people. lutrep.unitykitchener@gmail.com. There's no fee, and if you'd like to give a donation through Unity Canada, that would be gratefully accepted. We also are delighted that Reverend Paul Hasselbeck will be presenting the 12 Powers class from March 2nd to April 6th. Again, 7 to 9 Eastern time, but there's several other time zones, of course, because it'll be put on Zoom, so you can visit from anywhere. We're also doing this through Unity Canada because it's a little bit bigger than just Unity Kitchener, although we're sort of supporting it and hosting it. If you want to learn more about the 12 Powers, Paul also writes the Absolute Word, which is a reworking a little bit of the daily word as well. He's an interesting guy to listen to, and really has a deep sense of unity in many, many levels. You can also go to the same email, lutrep.unitycanada@gmail.com, and it allows you to sign up. And I just did this the other day and had a nice message back from Wendy saying, oh, we're delighted everybody's coming, and we'll see you there. So she'll send out the link to that once she's heard that you would like to sign up for that particular course. That would be great to see you there. Let's wrap up with a song, I Choose Love. Oops. There we go.
Peace in my life is growing because I choose love. Love's always present, it's what I'm made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one tie that binds us, that can't be undone. I choose love. Peace in my family is growing because I choose love. Let love be present, it's what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one loving family, sharing one sun. I choose love. Peace for our planet is growing because I choose love. Let love be present, it's what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one. One choice unites us. Let this be the one. I choose love. I choose love. I choose love.
Sorry, I just lost my slides there for a minute. We went to YouTube, but that's okay. The Zen thought for the week. The one person I am with forever is me. My relationship with myself is eternal. So I choose to be my own best friend. I choose to love and accept myself and talk to myself as I would to a beloved person in my life. I saturate all the cells in my body with love, and they become vibrant, relate with love to all of life. And that's from our friend Louise Hay. Join us if you can. Stay with us together. We're on unitykitchener.com. The website always has the newsletter, previous Sunday services, a calendar of events, much information. So always feel free to visit the website and know what Unity Kitchener's up to. Thank you again, Reverend Kelly. It was a pleasure to have you here, and we'll join together with you and have a bit of chatter.
Thanks.